Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Commissioners, I call Mrs. Isatou Auber.
Afternoon. May we remind you of the oath?
Good afternoon.
Thank you.
Mrs. Auber, you are summoned in connection to the Kanilai Family Farms RAM sales account at Trust Bank, as well as the MRI Presidential Project account. Okay. I'm going to show you Exhibit BB91. There's a specimen signature for the said account. If you could kindly confirm whether that's yourself. And I'm also going to show you other exhibits, including a debit advice for 2 million and a check, as well as MS 187A and 188. Okay. We'll take them in that order. I'll just... Is that yourself? Are you signatory to that account?
Yes, I am.
Well. What was that account all about, Mrs. Auber?
We had been assigned the task of supervising the sale of RAMs by the former president, myself and Mrs. Yambamba Keita. And the proceeds were lodged in the bank account and thereafter changed. That's the story behind that account.
He was selling RAMs. What was the source of these RAMs? And
Sorry?
you said you were supervising the sale of RAMs by the first president. So he was the one selling the RAMs, or the office of the president?
Actually, I can't honestly say who was selling the RAMs. Office of the President, we were assigned to supervise the sale of RAMs.
Yeah.
Who actually was selling it? I guess it was due to our positions as permanent secretaries that he gave us the assignment.
So if you were supervising, it suggests you were supervising people selling RAMs. Who were selling the RAMs? Who were you supervising?
It was mostly the soldiers who were doing the sales.
Was anyone in charge?
Sorry?
Was anyone in charge?
I don't know anyone in particular who was in charge of selling the RAMs.
So, but who were you supervising exactly?
The soldiers that were selling the RAMs.
Yeah, which soldiers?
Sorry?
What were their names?
Oh, I don't know their names, really. I know of someone called Jallo, and that's it.
So what was your role in terms of this supervision?
Just be present to make sure that...
be present?
Be present when the RAMs are being sold. And when they collected the funds, they were given to us to be deposited into the Guaranty Trust account.
Where were the RAMs being sold?
At the Makati Square.
Makati Square?
In Banjul, yes.
You were required, both of you, to be there?
Yes.
Surely he must have said something about these RAMs, their origins, the purpose, why he was being involved. If you could enlighten us a little bit about
no,
this.
we were not told of the purpose or their source.
They just gave you instructions to go and supervise the sale of RAMs?
They just gave us verbal instructions to supervise the sale of the RAMs.
They were verbal instructions?
Yes.
Directly from him or from the Secretary General?
From General Solbaji.
From General Solbaji?
Yes.
Was he the one in charge of the sale of the RAMs?
I can't say whether he was or not.
What role did he play in the sale of the RAMs?
I just supervised, actually. Like I said, we were present when they were selling the ramps. They had receipt books.
They
We
had?
made receipt books to collect the funds.
No, I'm asking about the role of General Sol Baji, whom you said instructed you to supervise the sale of the ramps.
I don't know what his role was.
Did you take instructions from General Baji?
No, he passed on a message from the former president.
As I understand it, at this time, what position did you hold at the office of the president?
Sorry?
At this time, what position did you hold at the office of the president?
I was permanent secretary.
As I understand it, you answer to or you take instructions from the Secretary General?
Yes.
Are you saying in this case the Secretary General was not involved? It was General Baji who instructed you?
In this case, General Baji gave me the information from the former president.
Was that normal? Was that usual?
Well, he has not given me an instruction from the office of the president any other time. It was just this one time.
Did you confirm his instructions that you should be involved?
I did not confirm it with anybody.
All right. Mrs. Keta, Yam Bambanjai Keta, produced minutes. That's the exhibit you are looking at, exhibit MS 187A. Do you see the document?
Yes.
Is that your minute? The minute says Isatou Auber. Is that yourself?
Yes, it is.
You sent that minute to the president and he responded. There is MS 188, which is a handing over of $2 million is withdrawn from the account.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which also has a signature, Isatou Auber. Is that yourself?
Yes, it is.
Why were you handing over $2 million?
Sorry?
Why were you handing over this $2 million to General Suleiman Baji?
Why we were?
Why were you handing over this money to General Baji?
Okay, we were asked to withdraw the amount of $2 million and hand it over to General Suleiman Baji.
Who asked you to do this?
General Suleiman Baji himself, if I recall very well, called and told us to do that.
Okay. General Suleiman Baji himself asked you?
Yes.
Did you receive the instructions yourself?
I believe so. I think I did.
Did he tell you why he was asking you and what authority he had to ask you to withdraw these funds?
No, he did not.
As I understand it from this file, it was a 1/6 account.
Originally,
1/6 account.
Originally, yes.
So, what was the original idea about this account when you had it open?
Given that we had not spoken to the president and the sale of the ramps was based on this 1/6 basis that government gives to civil servants. And as stated in the minute, it was tentatively named 1/6 account due to the urgent need to deposit the funds. It was thereafter that he decided to change the name to the Kanilai Family Farm ram sales account.
You refer to an urgent need to deposit funds. Which funds?
Sorry?
You refer to an urgent need to deposit funds. What funds are these?
That's the funds from the sales of the ramps.
The sales at Makati Square?
Yeah.
The sales at Makati Square?
Yes.
The way I understand 1/6 is that government would give you a loan, a salary loan, which you paid over 6 months if you're a civil servant.
Yes.
How did these work?
This particular one, there were instances when people decided to buy the ramps on cash basis and others on 1/6 basis. So for the funds that were bought by cash, those were the funds that were deposited in the account. Now, the ones for the mainstream civil servants, they were given on a 1/6 basis, where government would deduct the amount over a period of 6 months.
So how was it administered? You were supervising, you said, the seal.
Yes.
So these are civil servants working in various ministries. So
Yes.
how was it administered?
The different ministries were requested to submit the names of staff who were interested in the loan, and their accounts staff were present to confirm that a particular amount of RAMs were allocated to a particular ministry, and they would provide the names of the individuals the RAMs would be allocated to. That would be submitted to the Accountant General's Department, who would do the necessary deductions.
So the Accountant General Department would deduct from individual
From their salaries
and pay to this account?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Can you collect the documents? Mr. Chairman, I'll move on to the MRI account unless you have questions. The commissioners have questions. You are signatory to various accounts, including this MRI account. What was this MRI account about?
I don't know the source of the account or the purpose of the account.
Sorry, I can't hear what you're saying.
I don't know the source of the account, neither did I know the purpose of the account. The President had given instructions for me as Permanent Secretary 1 to be a signatory to the accounts.
Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Auber, is a very senior position. Even if you had instruction, surely you would try to find out what the purpose of this account was and what the monies that were being paid or withdrawn from this account were for. That is, I think, something one can reasonably expect. So MRI normally would connote medical equipment. That's at least for my limited knowledge. So I ask again, did you ever try to find out what this MRI presidential project was about?
No, I did not.
All right. Now, there is one transaction which you've been asked to clarify. And it's this is exhibit, Mr. Chairman, exhibit BB119A. Trust bank account. There's a request for payment of $7 million, signed by yourself, it seems, and Ismail Sanyang, both as Permanent Secretary. I'm going to show you the request, which is dated the 16th July 2015. And it says, we, the undersigned, hereby request you to pay the sum of $7 million from the MRI Presidential Project account, number 11280412101 in cash. The amount will be received by Mr. Ismail Sanyang, Permanent Secretary 2, at this office. Please treat it as a matter of urgency. And then there is a form from the bank, a debit voucher, with a photograph which says Ismail Sanyang. So I'm just giving you this. Can you kindly confirm whether those instructions were issued by yourself and Mr. Sanyang? Well, by yourself, you can only confirm, I suppose, your own part.
Yes, they were. That's my signature.
Okay, what was this 7? What is this all about? If you can explain.
Okay. It started off when the then Secretary to Cabinet wrote a minute to the former president informing him of the balance in the MRI account. And then the then president wrote a minute asking him to work with PS2, which was Ismaila Sanyang, or PS1, which was myself, to withdraw the sum of 7 million from the account today, that was on the 16th of July 2015, as a matter of urgency. That was the instruction.
You're reading from the minute?
Sorry?
Are you reading from a document?
I'm reading from a document, yes.
Yes, that's the minute you're referring to?
Yes.
From what file is it?
Sorry?
From what file is it?
Oh, this is from my records.
Are you reading from a copy of a minute from a file or from your notes?
I'm reading from a copy of a minute.
Yes, you know all minutes are from a file. That's why I ask, well, from what file is it? Do you know?
It would be from the same file that I made reference to in the request for payment.
Can you refer to the file for the record?
The file number you mean?
Yes, please.
And
its name, if you have it.
It's OP282/231/01 Part 3 86/IA, dated 16th July 2015.
All right, thank you. We can have the minute that you read from. Or have you exhausted your testimony on the minute?
Of this particular statement, yes.
Can you hand it over, please? Thank you. So you said you received that minute. It started with this minute. Those were your words. So what happened? What happened after you received the minute?
We wrote a request for payment for Mr. Ismaila Sanyang to receive the amount.
Okay. So you wrote that request that I showed you?
Yes, we did.
What was this amount for?
I don't know what it was for.
So it was paid cash to Ismaila Sanyang?
I don't know how it was paid to Ismaila Sanyang. We just made the request for him to receive it. How it was paid, really, I don't know.
Now, you signed with Ismaila Sanyang that instruction for Ismaila Sanyang to be paid 7 million.
Yes.
Did he withdraw 7 million?
Sorry?
Did he withdraw the 7 million from the bank?
I can't honestly say whether he received it or not.
Sorry, Mrs. Auber, why don't you know? These instructions, as I see it, which we are going to tender in a minute, Mr. Chairman, says work with PS2 or PS1 to withdraw the sum of $7 million from the account today as a matter of urgency. You were PS2.
I was PS1.
You were PS1. You are telling us you don't know whether it was withdrawn or not?
No, I'm telling. Yes, I'm saying I did not know whether it was withdrawn.
So you just signed the instruction and that was it?
Yes, yes.
To the bank and that was it?
Yes.
Did you find out from Mr. Sanyang whether he withdrew that money and what he did with it?
Sorry?
Did you find out whether he withdrew the money?
No, I did not find out from him.
All right, can you collect the exhibit? Mr. Chairman, may I apply to have admitted document produced by the witness, being a minute from Noah Toure to the ex-president, and a minute addressed to SC, and signed by the ex-president.
Minute 84 by Noah Toure, dated 15th July 2015 to ex-President Jammeh via Secretary General. Balance of the MRI Presidential Project account as at 2nd July 2015 and the subsequent directive by the ex-president to withdraw $7 million from the said account as a matter of urgency. Admitted mark MS 189.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's just one more payment for $2 million, signed, it seems, at least it says Isatou Auber and Ismail Sanyang, permanent secretaries, which says, we do understand hereby request you to pay the sum of $2 million from the MRI presidential project account in cash. The amount will be received by Sanajaju, Chief of Protocol at this office. Could you show the witness, please? Again, this is from the exhibits BB119A, Mr. Chairman. Can you kindly confirm whether you signed that instruction?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What was that one about?
A memo was written by the then Secretary to Cabinet, Mr. Toure, and it says, as per His Excellency's directives conveyed through the Chief of Protocol, kindly facilitate the withdrawal of $2 million from the MRI account. Please take necessary action as a matter of urgency.
Who was the Cabinet Secretary to Cabinet?
That was Mr. Toure.
Mr. Noah Toure.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was the reason why we made the request for payment of $2 million to be received by
What
Mr.
is the date of
Sanajaju.
the memo? What is the date of the memo?
3rd August 2015.
Okay, let's have the memo, please. Did he indicate why you were to pay $2 million?
No, he did not.
Was the Secretary to Cabinet your senior?
Yes.
Who was the Chief of Protocol at this time?
Mr. Sanajaju.
Sorry?
Mr. Sanajaju.
Mr. Sanajaju. Mr. Chairman, may I apply to have this internal memorandum also admitted, please? Thank you. Do you have any other documents relating to these matters that you would like the Commission to receive from you?
I have another request for payment from the MRI account.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I may just take the other documents and apply to have them tendered. Could you, what are those documents?
It's a request for payment of $145,480 to Mr. Almame S. Manga.
Yes.
There were students, UTG students.
Do you have the directives or the requests?
I have the minutes submitted to the former president.
You have the minutes?
And the directive that was given by the former president.
Let me have the minutes and the directive. We have the requests. Is this minute from the same file?
It's from the file that I made reference to in the request for payment.
Okay.
It's a different file from the one that I mentioned earlier.
It's just one paper?
No, I've got 3 here, or 4, all related to that.
It's just one paper?
Sorry?
Is it one paper?
That I have.
That you handed over?
Yeah, I handed over one paper.
Only
one
paper,
yes.
I'll add this minute, Mr. Chairman, to the one that was produced in relation to sums authorized from the MRI account by the witness.
if I may submit the others as well, that would relate to that minute.
Sorry, we can't hear what you're saying.
I've got the request for payment related to that particular minute.
Yes, let me see it. We probably have it in the file, but let me see it. What is this handwritten document? Account name Almami S. Manga, account number.
Can I look at it, please?
Yes?
Can I look at it, please? I haven't watched it. This payment relates to air tickets that were to be procured from Royal Air Maroc. When the approval was given, Royal Air Maroc had indicated that they wouldn't provide the tickets on credit basis. So it was decided that Almami S. Manga would represent all the students and he would receive the cash and thereafter pay Royal Air Maroc.
All right.
So these are his account details.
All right. Let me have the documents. We have the instructions dated 6 August 2015.
Yes.
It's transactions number 288, Mr. Chairman. Let's have the supporting documents. Mr. Chairman, I've applied to have admitted. Can you staple them together? These documents in relation to the sum of $145,480.80, transaction 288 in Exhibit BB 119A.
Internal memorandum dated 3rd August 2015 from Secretary to the Cabinet, Noir Toure, to Permanent Secretary 1, that is witness number 14, withdrawal of $2 million from the MRI account, admitted mark 1 MS190. Office of the President Minutes 153, 154, and 155, commencing 13th July 2015, approval for trip to Morocco by the University of the Gambia Student Union representatives, financed from the MRI account plus related documents. Admitted mark MS191.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mrs. Auber, you made a statement on the 1st of March 2018 in relation to this MRI account.
Yes, I did.
Now, in that statement, you said the amount of $7 million was received by Mr. Sanya.
Mm-hmm.
I see you have a copy. Did you say that?
Sorry?
Do you have a copy of the statement that you
No,
made?
I don't have a copy of the statement.
All right, I'll show you the statement. The last sentence on that statement
Yes.
is that the amount was received by Ismaila Sanya.
Mr. Simon, yes.
That's what you said.
Yes.
So why are you saying something different on the oath?
It's the choice of words I used, but
On which occasion?
like I said, on the statement, it was to be received by Mr. Sanya.
Can you collect the statement, please? I have no further questions for this witness. We have a very short witness.
Thank you very much, Counsel. We will now rise and we'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
Is the witness discharged, Mr.?
You said?
Witness has not been discharged.
Oh, yes. You are discharged, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.